Hello students again. It is Mrs. Cinti here and I am going to talk to you about equations. So let's remind ourselves what an expression is. An expression does not have an equal sign. So an example of an expression is 3 plus x or 2 plus 5. This is a numerical expression. This is an algebraic expression. So same thing comes along with 2.3 equations. Okay, so equations, we're going to go ahead and give ourselves some definition with equations. Equations, right here, let's go ahead and give ourselves some notes. They contain equal signs. Who would have thought? Oops, contain equal signs. And on either side of the equal sign, both expressions are equal. Okay, so this means 2 plus 3 equals 5. 2 plus 3 is 5, and 5 is 5, and so they're equal to each other, okay? There can be both algebraic and there can be numerical. So numerical, this is an example of a numerical equation when it's all numbers, okay? And then there's the algebraic, which is why we're here today, algebraic equations. This has one or more variables and one or more operations. Okay. You are going to be looking at sentences and turning them into either a numerical equation or an algebraic equation today. The term equals is going to be, or is the same as, will help us remember that it's an equal sign. Is equal to an equal sign, that's funny. So we can go ahead and do an example. The opposite of 3 decreased by negative 10. Oh, I should have written that up, sorry. By negative 10 is 7. Okay, so that is the equation. Okay, that's the word equation. We need to convert it to either an algebraic or a numerical equation. So the opposite of 3. So opposite of 3, negative is a negative 3. Okay, opposite, you have 3. What's the opposite of 3? Negative 3. Okay, decreased by. So opposite of 3 is decreased by. So that's going to be subtraction. It's decreased by a negative 10. Excuse me, by a negative 10. So there's our negative 10. And this is all equal to 7. Okay, so so that's the idea. Now, if you did it right, then these two sides will be equal, right? So you want to just check yourself real quick. So negative 3 subtract a negative means slash class or keep, change, change. And so you get plus 10, and that's equal to 7. And a negative 3 added to 10 is indeed 7. So we can check that off. Good. So that would be a numerical sentence right here. And then let's go ahead and look at an algebraic one. So 81 is equal to 10 less than the square of x. Okay, so pretty straightforward at the beginning. Okay, so 81 is equal to. So 81 is equal to. So we could, 10 less than, so that means 10 less than, meaning that we're going to have something that starts off this part of the expression, the square of x. So x squared, and then it's 10 less than this. Okay, you can't check yourself here because this is a variable, of course. You can solve for this eventually, but for right now, we're just trying to translate the word sentence, the algebraic sentence or the numerical sentence into algebraic sentences. Now, the other thing that we want to talk about in this section is the two types of sentences that are out there. There are opened and there are closed ones. Okay, open sentence, and then there are also closed sentences. Okay, an open sentence means that it's open for it's open for business. It's open for interpretation, I guess. Okay, so it's open for interpretation, meaning that it's going to be an algebraic equation. So 2x equals 4. So the idea is what is going to go in that x? It's open. Okay, there's a question mark there. So any algebraic expression means that it's open for interpretation. It's open to be solved, I guess. It's an open case. A closed sentence, it doesn't have variables, but it can be true or false. So if we keep going with my analogy of kind of the of an open case, a closed case would be one where you think that you have the criminal who stole your pencil or whatever it is. And so you're saying, I know it is Susie, and you have no idea, and you have evidence that supports it, but it still needs to be checked, and that's where the true or false comes along. Okay, it may have been Susie, but you may not have collected enough evidence, and so that wouldn't be helpful. So I say no variables, meaning that it's not open to interpretation, but something like 2x equals 4, if x equals 5, means that somebody has proposed that x is equal to 5. It's your job to prove whether or not it is true or false. Okay, so what you would write is you would rewrite obviously everything that you see, and then you would say 2 times 5 is equal to 4. That's the question mark. 2 times 5 is equal to 10, which is not equal to 4. So this is a false statement. Okay, it's a false closed sentence. Okay, so type of question that you might get on the homework is this example open or closed? And then you would say n plus 8 equals 9, and you would say it is open, right? It's an open one, and so it can't be true or false, okay? If it were, and we've looked at another example, so I don't have to repeat, I guess. A little bit more vocabulary, a solution is the value of a variable that makes the statement true. And so that's where we get eventually like n is equal to 1, right, for this example. N is equal to 1, that's the solution to this problem. If I were to plug 1 into this, 1 plus 8 is equal to 9. So that's the idea of what a solution is. So you may be finding solutions in this section. And then let's go ahead and do a practice. Determine whether the given value for the variable is a solution of the equation and then write true or false. And of course, show all work. I didn't even have to write that, honestly, but show your work. So the what we're looking at is, let's say, negative 3x equals 18 when x is equal to negative 6. And so what you would do is you would plug it in. Negative 3 times a negative 6 is equal to 18. That's the question mark. This is a closed sentence because this has been proposed now to be the answer to what x would be, the solution of this. Negative 3 times a negative 6 is 18. 18 does indeed equal 18. Okay, one more example here, showing a little bit more complexity. Negative 32 divided by z equals negative absolute value of 18 when z is equal to 2. So what we would do is come back over here, plug it in. I'll change colors. Negative 32 over 2, is it equal to the opposite of the absolute value of 18, which is 18, so is it equal to negative 18? We do the division. Negative 32 divided by 2 is negative 16, which is not equal to negative 18. Okay, so this is false. And I should have written true, I'm sorry, on the last one. Okay, good luck on this, and we will see you for help later.